Okay, we are back to talk about what's next. How do you keep growing beyond this week, right? How do you keep learning and growing, connecting with your peers as Catalyst practitioners? Well, you already know who I am. I'm going to pass it over to my friend and colleague Angie to introduce herself.
Yeah, hey everybody. I am Angie Wilson, and I'm the Associate Director of Education. So I work with Andy and Pia and all the lovely people Claire just mentioned. Um, our team develops the education experiences that come with your Catalyst practitioner experience from foundations all the way through continuing education and delivers all of our certification programs as well. So I'm excited to take the opportunity to walk you through what's available.
Awesome. Thanks, Angie.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to take a quick overview of the support ecosystem that you have access to so that we're starting from a good foundation there. Then we'll dive into the practitioner community, which we've discussed multiple times over this week, but we'll go a little deeper. What is it, how you access it, and why you want to be there. After that, Angie will walk you through some helpful tools and educational resources that are available to you right now. And then we'll wrap up with some simple action items that you can take this week. Okay, so let's get started. So, the practitioner ecosystem. So, this is really everything you have access to that enables your work as a practitioner. For those of you who are practitioners in this meeting, the people who are delivering and developing the programs. So, raise your hand if you have the Catalyst practitioner experience first. I'd love to see hand raises or thumbs ups.
Oh, there's a lot coming in.
Yeah, good, good. I know we've had some questions on that this week. I hope that it's getting a little bit more clear. So cool, 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 cool. Awesome. So, all right. If you have that, we're going to again refer that to CPE as we move forward, right? So it's designed to equip you with everything you need to deliver engaging DiSC sessions. Your on-platform resources include facilitation scripts, so fully scripted scripts. I don't think that's right, but anyway, you know what I mean. PowerPoints, and then free group and facilitator reports, plus learner and group insights, which are available if you also have CAE. In addition, you get access to a lot more on the online training center that we have. So you get access to the Everything DiSC Foundations course, which we mentioned earlier. It's a great kickoff for people who are just starting new. You also get access to continuing education, the practitioner community, plus you have access to 24/7 support resources, including our help center and access to our tech support team. If you or learners who you're working with face any technical challenges, you've got support there. And finally, this piece isn't included with CPE, the Catalyst Practitioner Experience, but if you're looking to add a deeper credential to your resume, you could consider becoming an Everything DiSC Certified Practitioner, which will provide you with deep expertise, and it's available for an additional cost. You can talk to your Everything DiSC provider for more information about that. Okay, so that's kind of just the laying the foundation there. So let's do another hand raise or thumbs up. Raise your hand if you've been in the practitioner community. Thumbs up, raise hands. Okay, great. Based on the chat, I know that there's some people here who haven't logged into that yet, but that's okay. We're going to help out with that. So cool. Thank you so much for the feedback. All right. So what is the practitioner community? Really, in a nutshell, it's a dedicated online space exclusively for Catalyst practitioners. And the idea here is that you can connect with your peers, you can access exclusive resources, get your questions answered, and really learn from each other's real world experiences. And this community is different from a typical discussion forum because, first, it's practitioner to practitioner. The real magic happens when practitioners, you, share what's working for you. You ask each other questions, you problem solve together, you share information. You're connecting with people who actually understand what you're doing because they're doing it too. I'll say that you'll see what members of the Wiley team in there. I'm in there regularly. Some of the faces that you've seen this week so far have been in there. They're people who work with practitioners, or either have been practitioners themselves or those who work with practitioners. So we're in there to add content, moderate the community. But again, that real magic happens when it's practitioner. Okay. So when you're engaging with each other. Second, it's a resource hub. So we share some exclusive content in that community that you really can't get anywhere else. There's activities, templates, implementation guides. We talked about that manager performance review implementation guide in an earlier session. You can get that there. Research insights will be there. So these are really practical tools that are designed to make your DiSC work more meaningful and impactful. And finally, and this is most important to me, it's a place where you can be real. So you can ask questions without judgment, share what didn't work, share what worked, but share what didn't work and get honest input from people who've been in your shoes. So we intentionally built this to feel supportive, safe, and human, not like a corporate marketing channel. And the community is included with the Catalyst Practitioner Experience at no additional cost. It's just really part of the value of being part of our practitioner community. All right, so I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. There are resources to support this in our help centers, but how to get into the community. The first thing you're going to need to do is activate your serial number. Sharon walked through this yesterday, and you'll do that right in Catalyst. Just go to account settings and click on Practitioner Experience, enter your serial number, and then you're going to get 2 emails from certifications@wiley.com. The first one is your welcome to the online training center. That's going to give you your login credentials and steps to get set up in that training center. It's not the same platform as Catalyst, so you'll need to create your own user ID and password there. The second email welcomes you to the Catalyst Practitioner Experience and kind of points out those resources that we talked about earlier, the foundations and the community. And a quick note that in the future, you'll always be able to easily access that community right from your Catalyst homepage, right? Okay, so you can click right there and get into the practitioner community. Okay, once you have everything set up, you're going to go into the online training center. Here's what you'll see. You'll see the community banner right at the top there. And below that, you'll see any learning that's available to you. So if you're already set up with CPE, you're going to see Everything DiSC Foundations. And then there's also an e-learning for the Catalyst admin experience. So just also a side note, if you have been or in the process of getting certified, this is also where your certification courses are going to appear. On the right-hand side, you'll see badges that you've earned. We've got a variety of badges that can be earned through the community. So some based on engagement with the community, like posting, commenting on posts, or answering questions. So let's take a look at the community. We'll just click on Step Inside to enter. Okay, so the community itself is organized into spaces. You'll see them in the left-hand nav on the homepage there. There's announcements, a welcome area, in the news and on your mind, facilitation, and resources. Each of those spaces has a different focus, and you can browse and contribute to any of them. But really, don't let this be overly complicated. Don't be scared of them. It's just a way to organize content, and it's not a big deal. If you can't decide where to put it, just put it somewhere. Okay? It all rolls up to the homepage. So it's really hard to explain the power of networking and community. So we thought it would be nice to show you an example of what community engagement actually looks like, because this really brings it to life better than anything we could just describe. So here's a real post from one of our Wiley community moderators, Amanda, and she asked a question that comes up all the time in certification, and many of you probably are thinking about this. She wanted to find out how other practitioners are managing the question of how do you create space for quieter styles without calling anyone out in a workshop. And the conversation got great. It was a super active discussion. Someone mentions developing community agreements before any training they do. So really to proactively address the issue, they get ahead of it. Another person mentions that they use classroom facilitation techniques to really shift the conversation to a new person by saying, let's hear from our S styles. This person shared another classroom management technique by asking just a simple question. I'd like to hear from someone who hasn't spoken yet. And really mentioned that as facilitators, we need to make room for people who haven't spoken to participate. So we need to invite that. Another community member shared that they orchestrate their activities so that they have different group dynamics to meet the needs of all four styles. So individual activities, partner activities, and then small and large group activities too. We heard from someone who shared that with in-person trainings, they actually assign style groups to certain places in the room, pushing the quieter styles to the front of the room and the louder styles in the back of the room. Really, the point in me sharing all of this is to illustrate the practical real world wisdom that you can't just get from a manual or from a training. This example really showcases the power of this community. So remember to use this resource the next time you get a participant question that you can't answer, or as you're preparing for your next session and encounter a challenge that you haven't faced before, remember to go into this community to tap into your peers. And in addition to the discussions, the community is also where we share exclusive resources. So a few recent examples, we posted a simple team activity using DiSC group maps. Teams map out their styles and build trust by exploring what makes each person tick. 30-minute activity, easy to add on to a quick group meeting. There's another one on group decision making. This is hard. Group decision making is hard. And so this is a tool to have teams explore what each person prioritizes when they're making decisions and really uncover those blind spots that the team might have, really all with the goal of creating more productive teams, making decision making a little easier. And another one that brings teams together to discover what stresses them out and how they can improve their team dynamics by really understanding what other people's stressors are. These are community exclusive resources that you can use with your teams or give to your people managers to use, whatever it looks like. We add new content regularly, so there's always something fresh. And we really do love hearing how you're using them. So when you try an activity and it works well, or you adapt it for your specific situation, please let us know in the community and share your ideas and builds with the other peers in the group. We're also sharing current research and thought leadership in the community. Really, we want to engage you with the research that we're doing and that we're noticing out in the field to hear what your experiences are and if or how that research is being reflective in your actual experience. So a few examples of recent research posts, and we'll call out one of them that got a lot of traction. Meeting pet peeves. Who doesn't have a meeting pet peeve? Be honest, you know you have one or two. But you'll see the research on the right-hand side, and there was a super interesting dialogue around this one because everybody does have meeting pet peeves, right? So there were people offered strategies for running effective meetings, and then they had other ideas to address those pet peeves. So it was a great conversation around that. So we'll continue to share more of our own research as well as external research, and we really look forward to hearing your perspectives. Okay, so that's the community, and I'm going to transition it over to Angie now. Angie, over to you.
All right, thanks, Claire. So now that you know about the community, your peer support system, let me show you the self-guided tools and resources that are available to help you continue to build your skills and confidence. So first up is Everything DiSC Foundations. This is a 2-hour asynchronous resource that supports the Catalyst Practitioner Experience by offering the foundational knowledge of the DiSC model and exploring those facilitated learning activities that are on Catalyst. And this course was really built to help learn those facilitation materials and to support you in your application of DiSC. And so the course is organized into 3 modules. The first one helps you get familiar with Catalyst and the facilitation materials. The second one will help learners understand the basics of the Everything DiSC model. And then the third helps learners explore Catalyst content and the corresponding facilitated experiences. And this is designed to be a resource, so there's no exam or credential earned with this learning plan. So we also have, for those of you who wear that administrator hat or work closely with your organization's admin, we have a collection of resources specifically for the Catalyst Administrator Experience. So the Catalyst Administrator Experience, or CAE resource, is a collection of all of the available materials we have to help you navigate all of those admin features that Catalyst offers. So the course supports users with job aids, user guides, and video tutorials on how to send access codes, including WorkSmart, manage learners, and control features such as the reveal style, and really all within anything within that Catalyst administrator experience on Catalyst. So all of these are self-paced and available anytime. So if you're in the middle of something, you're setting something up and you get stuck, or if you just want to make sure you're doing it the most efficient way, these can be your go-to. So if you need something like help with something really specific, a technical question, how to troubleshooting, we also have a dedicated self-help site at support.everythingdisc.com. So this is organized by topic areas such as Catalyst Learner Experience, Catalyst Admin Experience, Catalyst Practitioner Experience, as well as like common questions and troubleshooting. On the screen, you can see the trending topics right now are things like Catalyst login help, how to assign assessments as admins, and how to create new reports or issue access codes. So if those are questions you've had, you can find those step-by-step answers right here on this site. And this is available 24/7. It's also searchable, so you can usually find what you need really quickly in just a couple minutes. Okay, so now I get to talk about our education offerings because the tools and resources that I just covered are really great for that on-the-spot help, but we also want to provide and support you in your ongoing professional development in a more structured way. So our education team has been working very hard on developing new content on trending topics and areas where we've received feedback that learners are wanting more. And this is something I'm really excited about. We've built this continuing education pathway that gives you focused, deeper learning on various topics, and it's included with your Catalyst Practitioner experience. So we release these shorter, typically less than an hour, fully asynchronous courses every quarter. We launched Guiding People Through Change in November and Getting Ready to Deliver in February. And our next course is scheduled to release on May 4th. So mark your calendars for that one. When a new course is released, it will automatically appear in your account. You don't have to do anything to get access. As long as you are a Catalyst, you have Catalyst Practitioner Experience, you can just log in and start learning. Okay, so now for those of you who want to take your expertise kind of to that next level, I'm going to talk about Everything DiSC Certification. And this is our most comprehensive education offering. This course prepares you to deliver engaging and impactful DiSC experiences. It gives you the deep expertise and the credential to be a true everything DiSC expert within your organization. So this is a 2-week immersive experience that combines self-guided learning with live virtual instructor-led sessions. And here's what you're going to get out of it. First, you're going to discover the foundational DiSC principles, the theory, the research, and the why behind the model. You'll learn and experience everything DiSC on Catalyst from both the learner and facilitator perspectives. Our trainers use the latest Catalyst innovations to help give you a richer understanding of that full everything DiSC on Catalyst experience. You also learn how to build custom DiSC solutions tailored to your organization's specific needs, and you'll practice facilitation and receive feedback in a safe environment. So it's one thing to understand DiSC, and it's another to really deliver it well. So I'm going to dive deeper into kind of each of those objectives. So first, the course includes that deep insight and expertise into the foundational principles of DiSC, things like theory, the model, the map, the assessment and supporting research, all key areas that facilitators need to feel to be experts within the organization. Okay, second, this course is designed for practitioners. So our education team has built this course specifically for those individuals who are guiding learners through their DiSC journey. The course is built to introduce concepts in the asynchronous work, to prepare for the live sessions, and then reinforce in the online work after those live sessions where they're doing a lot of the practice. And the course also includes a culminating project that's introduced at the beginning of the course. Learners will build a project presentation that takes a team from their real life or maybe fictional. We've heard a few different fun fictional stories. but take a team through a needs assessment to workshop delivery all the way through to a final evaluation. And finally, the course includes facilitation and coaching practice with self-guided setup, preparation using the workshop planning guides and live sessions where you're practicing the delivery and getting real feedback. And I'm really proud to share that our learners love this course and how it prepares them to be everything DiSC practitioners. And our learner satisfaction ratings are outstanding and really reflect the great work that the education team has done with this course. So this course does culminate with a final presentation, like I mentioned, and an exam. So if you're serious about making DiSC really a core part of your organization's culture, and I'm guessing that many of you are, since you're here at Catalyst Week, certification is really the way to level up. So in addition to earning the Everything DiSC Certified Practitioner credential, this course is approved for continuing education credits from 4 of the largest organizations in our industry. Okay, so we showed this slide on our last day together. Claire, I think I have something off here, but that's okay. I'm going to pass it over to you, and you can go ahead and wrap us up.
Okay, I think so. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Um, so we showed this slide on our first day together. So when we were talking about what's the difference between CAE and CPE, and hopefully over the last 3 days, you've seen these elements come to life. So CPE is your Catalyst practitioners, your DiSC program delivery toolkit, all on Catalyst. And if that's where you set up and deliver things, but it comes with facilitation materials, again, the core of CPE, learner and group insights, right? Those group maps and learner and group insights if you also have CAE access. Ongoing training, right? So Angie just walked us through what that ongoing training and self guided training you have on that online training center. Help you get started quickly. And last but not least, that practitioner community where we're sharing exclusive resources. So really the big picture here is you've got a lot of things to work with, tons of things to work with here to deliver DiSC with confidence and really keep growing as a practitioner. So, action steps. Starting with the practitioner community, sign in and introduce yourself if you haven't done so already. Comment on a post and make sure like the next time you bump into something, post your question or challenge in the community to get other people's points of views. You should make sure that you are tapping into those additional helpful tools. Everything DiSC Foundations is a great tool to get you started. And remember that you've got educational opportunities, right? Those continuing education sessions that are going to be posted in the online community. And Angie, you said the next one's coming out May 4th. So yeah, mark your calendars.